Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back. I hope you're all doing very well. Happy 2026. I hope that 2026 is going to be an amazing year for everyone. Today is the 18th of January 2026. We're on episode 46 and it has been more than a minute since I've been up here. So we have got quite a bit to talk about. I have made notes so I don't forget everything, and I've got a cup of coffee. So cheers to 2026, and I think we should dive straight into it with, first of all, what am I wearing? I am wearing a top for which there isn't a pattern, or I didn't use a pattern. I used a tutorial from MJ's Off the Hook here on YouTube, and it is a granny raglan summer top which I made with Knotty Habit merino linen single. So it's a fingering weight yarn, and this colorway was from the 2025 Yarn Club box. I'm not sure which quarter, but yeah, I absolutely love this top. It's nice and cool, and the box came with a set of minis, and then I ordered extra of the main color, and I used the minis, the different shades or variations of the blue and white to create these stripes. I will tell you, it was a lot of ends that I had to weave in when I was done, but it was all worth it. I've worn it quite a couple of times. It is a fingering weight, and I made this with a 4mm hook. So the gauge is not too tight. It's a very loose, flowy material that I've created, but I do see a bit of pilling on the underarms, probably because of the looser gauge. I'm not sure. We will see as it continues. And I've made another I have made another garment using this merino linen yarn, which I'll show a little bit later, at a slightly tighter gauge. So I will compare the two gauges if the pilling gets worse or improves. So that's the first finished object. Then I would like to show you probably one of the most fun projects that I did over December, and that is this little scarf. So this scarf is the Serenity scarf, which is a pattern by my friend Mariette from Die Boervrou, and the color that I chose to make it in does not show the patterning very well, but you can see the pinstripes along the length of the scarf. This was made with Cowgirlblues proper sock yarn in the colorway indigo. So I bought the Sunday advent calendar from Little Yarn Craft, and the theme was African sunsets. So overall, after opening all of the main colors, so they were all a 100 gram full skein proper sock. Let me show you. It was 4 of them. So this one is the colorway indigo, the blue. The pink is the pale rose. It's getting blown out a little bit. Then there was this variegated yarn in the colorway sheer, and apologies, a very dark purple colorway. Name was plum, yes, it was plum. I've used all of them, and we will discuss a little bit what I did with all of these skeins. So this is what I have left of the indigo. And I must say, the name Serenity scarf really does it justice. it really does the name justice. It is simple. There is not a single pole stitch in this scarf. You create these pinstripes using slip stitches on the wrong side. And I really love it. It's a quick knit. It is an amazing length. You can wear it like this, or you can do the ascot. I'm not even going to try and do that on camera now. I'm not a pro. So that was, I think, my second finished object in December. So FYI, I had a 3-week off period in December from work, which is the only reason I was able to do so many projects and finish off so many projects. I had a major drive in December to reduce my amount of whips so that I could cast on something new in the new year, which we will get to. The next item I would like to talk about is, I'm calling it Sandy's shawl. So Sandy is a friend of mine, of ours, and I have been wanting to make her a shawl for quite a while. They are living at the coastal area now. They used to be our neighbors, and I was thinking a shawl would be perfect for later afternoons when the wind cools down a bit. And this is what I did. It's actually been finished for quite some while now, and we are seeing them in March. So I'm looking very much forward to give her her shawl finally. And for this, I again didn't use a pattern. I used a tutorial on YouTube. I'll try and find it when I do the description for this video. And it is basically just a granny triangle that I made with, let me confirm. Oh, it's Yarn Arts flower cakes. So it has this gradient. You can either start at the dark side of the yarn cake or at the light side. And I decided I would like the biggest surface of the shawl to be the darker purpley colors with the lighter colors on the edge. So yeah, I think this turned out very, very beautifully. And also this one was made with a 4mm crochet hook, and this is a fingering weight 100% polyester yarn. And yeah, very, very happy with how this turned out. Then the last shawl I would like to talk about is, I'm just calling it my slanket. Again, no pattern used for this. It is just a very long rectangle, yeah. And for this, I used Knotty Habit's Scrappy Tober box for 2025. I chose the colorway, it was bonfire something, and I paired it with Mincy's Battleship Grey, which is one of her permanent solid colorways she has in the shop, to split the colors from each other. So this is sock yarn. So it's a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And I'm trying to remember, it was 24 minis that was in the box. And I repeated 3 transitions. It's a simple granny stripe with a sort of border around it. Didn't spend too much time on putting a border. And I've been wearing this a lot. South Africa, I don't know. It's as if the weather was a little bit slow this year. So summer didn't come as fast as we expected. And some days it feels like it's still not here. But this was perfect for early morning wrapping up a bit just to break that chilly wind we've been having in the mornings. Yeah. Should I show anything else? I think that's about it on this. And then another neck piece that I started and finished before Christmas Day is this bad boy. I love this scarf so much. I cannot wait for winter so I can wear it. This was done using the yarn swap that I did with my friend Mariette from Die Boervrou. And in 2024 we did the yarn swap. Tongue twister. And I was working December in 2024, so I never got to use the yarn swap minis. And then this year we did it again, and this year I had time, so I decided to use both 2024 and 2025's yarn swaps to make a massive winter scarf. So what I did was, I started with day 1 for 2024, which was this one. Made a 2-row rib, 1x1 rib, and then I just started knitting. So it is a tube. I used the smallest circular setup I could achieve using my interchangeable needles, Chai-Gu, and I held it double with just a plain white undyed sock yarn. So we swap every year sock yarns, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and then I have a lot of undyed sock yarn. So I just used one strand of undyed yarn with whatever mini was of the day, and I then went over to day 1 of 2025, day 2 2024, day 2 2025, and so it continues. It is a very, very long scarf. So it is sock yarn held double in a tube, and it's long. So this is going to be amazing in winter. I am very excited to start using this. I love it. The randomness and the colorfulness gets toned down slightly because of the undyed yarn that I added to it, making it very cohesive. And yeah, this was fun. It was fun, and it was done on the 24th of December. Did I need to say anything else? Okay, so that's all the neck pieces. I am now going to move over to hats, and I do not have one of the 4 hats with me because I shipped it off to the Netherlands. Peter's eldest daughter and our grandchildren are getting very cold. It has been snowing like crazy there over December, and I decided I'm making them hats. So the first hat that I want to talk about is a Musselburgh hat. The Musselburgh hat is very popular. I think everybody knows about it. It is from or by Isolde Teague, and I made this one using Cowgirlblues yarns. So I held these two together. It is a merino linen fingering weight blend and a mohair. So the colorway for this is RESPECT. Respect. Here we go. And I think it turned out beautifully. So that went to Jessica, Peter's daughter. That's for her. And then I discovered a beanie pattern. And again, the name does it 100% justice. It is the Brilliant Beanie by Amy Kate Sutherland. Amy Kate Sutherland. And it's written for fingering weight yarns, and with the idea in mind of using a single skein. So I had to make 3 hats very fast, very fast, because I think it was a matter of a week. I had to have it ready to ship off with one of our family members that's staying also in Europe that came to visit, and I wanted to send it with her. So, the eldest granddaughter, Mika, loves green. The second oldest one, Manai, she loves blue. And then the youngest one is still, I think she's almost 2 years old, if not 2 years old already. Anyway, we don't know what color is her favorite yet. So, I decided to use the Cowgirlblues Advent set that I bought, that I showed you already. This one. And it doesn't have green in it. So, I paired it with Pianna Yarns sock yarn. Yep. And this was the colorway Verde. So, I initially bought this for the... What was the name of that sweater? It's designed by Mariette as well. Oh, my mind's a blank. Sorry, Mariette. But I bought this yarn and I have still quite a bit of it left. So I decided that for Mika, I'm going to use the green and the plum together. And for Manai, again, this variegated blue yarn together with the plum. And for Marley, the youngest one, I decided to then use the light rose or pale rose, faded rose, oh my goodness, all of them, the faded rose with the plum. And I just did helical knitting to make micro stripes in these beanies, and they work up so fast. I have to tell you, the brilliant beanie is brilliant. I'm looking forward to making some more, which I will discuss with you at the end of the episode on future plans. So that's a total of 4 hats, all been shipped off. They have not reached their new owners yet, but hopefully before the winter is over, they will have their hats. Okay. Goodness. Okay. I have made... Sorry, my dog is lying on the couch here and making some noise. Anyway, I have made one pair of socks in 2025. And that was Advent socks. And it's pretty. There we go. So, these socks are made using Knotty Habit's 24 stripe Advent of 2025. And it was so cute. I need to put a picture in here. It came in the cutest bag. Your 2 50-gram skeins with the 24 stripes. Separated. And in the middle was a main color. This one here. That I used for the toes and the heels. And I don't know. Something about stripes. Especially self-striping yarn. That wants you to keep on going, and I had to contain myself not to run ahead knitting up these socks. I think the colors are absolutely gorgeous. The pattern I used was the Vanilla Bean pattern by the Crazy Sock Lady, and you can see there it's a ribby pattern. Very fun to make, very meditative, and I made the size medium in the pattern using my 9-inch 2.5mm Chaigu needles. And yeah, happy to report I finished a little bit before Christmas because I didn't need to use 24 stripes to make a pair of socks for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 16 stripes. If I remember correctly, I was done by the 17th of December with them. A lot of fun. I can highly recommend the Vanilla Bean pattern. The texture it creates is stunning and it's not difficult at all to do and memorize. So yeah, love these. Now I can start wearing them. Okay, then we've got 2 tops done as well. The first one that was completed before the end of 2025 was a Rananuculus. There we go. It is very variegated and stripy, so you cannot really see the texture of the Rananuculus like you should be able to see. So this was made with Merino DK. That was also a Knotty Habit yarn club box for 2025. The theme or the colorway I chose was Roja. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So everything was some shade and variegation of red. With this one, what was this one's colorways? The blue. Can't remember the blue colorway's name. But yeah. So yarn club box, Merino DK weight on 6mm needles. I did keep that the same. And I'm very happy with it. It's also a very light, flowy sweater that I've been wearing because, like I said, it seems like summer is still hiding away a bit. The Rananuculus pattern is by Midori Crochet. I hope I'm saying that right. But also very popular. I think everybody knows of it by now. And yes, done. Then, my New Year's project that I wanted to start. I wanted a summer top that's a little bit more fancy and fun and all of the above. So I had a big drive in December to finish a lot of works in progress, so that I could start a New Year's project. So on the 2nd of January, I casted on the lemon sweater. So the lemon sweater is by Agnieszka Radusz. I am probably saying that wrong. And for this I used again the Knotty Habit yarn club boxes that I've received, and this was a fingering weight merino linen yarn. So there we go. Again, it was the same term, I think it was term 3 that we received this blue. So I for that term ordered the blue and the red colorway. So again, we had a set of mini skeins with varying shades of red, and I used the darkest red mini for the texture pattern section of the yoke, but I did not have enough. So for this last scallop edge, I just went with the mini that's one shade lighter than the darkest one to finish that off, and I think it does blend in quite well. It transitions nicely between the dark red and then the lighter main color. So I again had to order additional main color. So that's a nice thing of Mincy's yarn club setup. When you put in the order for the boxes, you can order additional skeins with the same dye technique as the box itself, which is what I did. And now if you lift it up, this is what it looks like. So interesting, while I was crocheting, I didn't notice the differentiation between the skeins, and we all know with our hand-dyed yarn you should actually alternate your skeins, which I did not do. I actually think it adds something to it. I am not too bothered by this. I think it's actually very pretty. And yeah, this is a very enjoyable make. The textured piece here, I learned quite a lot. So it creates like lemon wedges in the patterning. There you can see it a little bit. I love it. It has not been washed and blocked yet. I know. I'll do it today. Hopefully it's dry by tomorrow morning. Nice thing about the merino linen is it dries quite quickly. And it seems like the sun might come out. So if it heats up today, it should be dry by tomorrow. Because I really want to start wearing this one. And I decided to make the short sleeve version. It does have an option for long sleeves. So I am definitely deliberating making one for winter as well. And yeah, absolutely love it. Highly recommend it. I used a 3mm crochet hook as suggested in the pattern. Another thing that I can mention about this merino linen. I did 2 gauge swatches. Because one, I started off with a slightly bigger hook. I don't know why I thought maybe I was not going to get gauge. So I measured the gauge swatch before washing and blocking it, and it didn't change at all. I did it with the 3mm hook as suggested. I got gauge before washing and blocking. After washing and blocking, it was still exactly the same. Sorry, I just got a call here. Oh, yes, we are still recording. Anyway, so that's that. Happiness. I'm actually going through this very fast. I thought this was going to be a ridiculously long video, but it's not going to be. Then there was one more finished object that also has been gifted already, and that is a baby blanket for a work colleague. His baby was born in beginning of January, if I remember correctly, the 6th of January. Cutest baby girl. I got some pictures of her lying under the blanket, which I will not show because I don't think I should be showing other people's children without their permission. But anyway, it is a straightforward corner to corner baby blanket. We dyed the yarn ourselves. Me and Peter were playing a little bit. So bought some pink yarn. It is very pink. And it didn't turn out as solid as I would have hoped it turns out. So I still need to do a lot of practicing in dyeing. Trying to get a more solid color, which is what I was hoping for. But it's okay. Then, whips. I have got 2 whips that I'm working on and that I am willing to show today. Of which the first one is in my very small Esterita Yarn Creations project bag. And everything is stuffed in here. Probably not the best thing, but anyway. This is the 2024 Stephen West MCO. It is the Go-Go Dynamo shawl. Again, 2024 was a crazy hectic year at work. Over October in 2024 we were busy and I didn't get to participate. I bought a yarn and I made one semicircle in October of 2024 and then nothing happened until end of December 2025. When I was done with all these other projects, I decided, let's do it. And I'm very glad I decided to get going on this because I'm absolutely loving the process, learning the new techniques, the modular knitting, joining these triangles in between the semicircles. I can already tell you this shawl is going to be massive. So I have completed what would have been clue 1 and I have just finished the brioche part of clue 2. I must still do the transition from the brioche to the next row of bobbles, but yeah, it is progressing. I am not yet starting any new projects. I want to make some progress on this first. And I've got an important project I need to start. So I'm not making any new garments at this stage. I first want to get this one done before I start another garment. So the yarn I'm using for this was a custom dye that Mincy did for me for the MCAL, and it is on her Kaiso sock base, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and I think it's working up beautifully. I asked her to please use the garnet colorway. So in 2024 Yarn Club boxes, she used semi-precious stones as inspiration for the colorways, and I selected the garnet one in 2024. So I actually asked her to use the garnet colorway as inspiration to dye this up for me, and I think it came out beautifully, and I'm very excited to get this done. Is this the front or the back? It's the back side, sorry, there's the front side. Quite a bit of work still left to do. Loving the brioche. I've only did one brioche project previously, cannot remember the hat pattern's name, but me and Mariette went to Juanita from JuaKnits workshop, where we learned actually the basics of brioche. And then when we started with this, I realized, or when I started with this section on the shawl, I realized I still know nothing apparently, because we learned in that class how to do it in the round. We made a hat. This one is knitted flat. So yeah, I finally am figuring out how to read brioche knitting to see what I need to do. Probably because it's so much knitting that's coming into these sections. But yeah, so far so good. I'm loving it. Okay. Then the last project I want to show is a sock. Staying in my bag that Mariette made me. And this is where we are at. I do not know the yarn anymore. I bought it quite a bit ago, lost the label, but from the feel, and I know for a fact it's definitely normally it's a 75 or 80% non-superwash yarn, with the remainder being some sort of polyamide. Yeah, it's very pretty, very beautiful. I'm making this in my size. So it's 60 stitches in the round. Made a 20 row 1x1 cuff with just plain vanilla knitting. And I don't have too far to go anymore to get to the heel. This is basically my, you know, when you can't take a big project. This is my small project traveling knitting. There you go. So this is what the skein looks like. And yeah, I'm doing this on 2.25 millimeter needles, trying to get socks that fits a little bit better, because some of my other socks tend to scrouch down in my safety boots when I wear them to work, and I'm hoping these ones will not do that. Okay, so I want to just quickly mention some future projects that I have in the pipeline. First of all, there is another work colleague whose wife is pregnant, and I'm finding out the gender hopefully tomorrow. Fingers crossed, so I can get going, because they are quite far along and are only now working on finding out what the gender is. So yeah, I will have like 2 months to do a baby blanket. As soon as I know the gender, I will know what yarn I'm going to use, because I still have quite a bit of this blue yarn left. I maybe bought too much. So if it's a boy, I'm thinking I'm using this. If it's a girl, we will go back to the dye pots. And then I also have been promising my brother-in-law a hat and a scarf. And he is a biker, so his bike is white and blue and yellow. I'm thinking If the baby blanket needs to be a different color, it's not blue, it's going to be pink or some girly color, I'm going to use the remainder of this yarn that I have to make my brother-in-law's hat and scarf. If not, we will have to make a plan. I don't know if I'm going to be adventurous enough to dye yarn for him, because I might need to then buy some yarn for him. Then I really want to make one more summer t-shirt. I'm thinking along the lines of a cotton one, not necessarily granny. I don't know. I'm not sure yet what I want to do. I've got some fingering weight cotton yarns that I really want to use. So if you have some suggestions for me for a fingering weight summer top, can be knitting or crocheting, please leave them in the comments below. I would really appreciate it. Yeah. And then finally, I still want to do the 2025 Stephen West MCal. It was the musical shawl. I definitely have enough sock yarns fingering weight to get 4 colors that can work. So I could even do it from stash, but baby steps, we will get there. That is the next 4 projects that is on my to-do list. Don't have all the answers for all of them yet, but I am excited. So that's it for the knitting and crochet content. In terms of life, yeah, I already told you that I was off for 3 weeks in December, which was such a blessing. I got a lot of R&R in. A lot of knitting, a lot of crochet. We had 1 or 2 braais. So in South Africa we call a barbecue a braai. And we made a potjie once for New Year's. That was a lot of fun. So yeah, we got to spend some quality time with family as well. Then I did go to Pianna last week for work. And I stay close to Rustenburg in the northwest. So the drive from where I stay to Pianna in Limpopo is like 6.5 to 7 hours drive. It's a full day's drive down there. And it is like one of the Kruger National Park's gates is inside Pianna. It's part of the town. And I told Peter, there's no way I'm driving up there and not going to Kruger National Park. The moment I knew I have to go to Pianna, I started booking. I was so excited. And then while I was booking, I was saying, let's save some money and let's do the camping maybe. It's a lot of work to camp. And I was not planning on staying in one of the Kruger National Park's camps for a 3-day period. We were going to sleep at a different one. But I mean, it's just sleeping, so we don't need to set up a massive camp. Then I heard it's going to rain. And I was like, oh, I'm not camping in the rain. So I booked chalets. And the day before we started driving down, we started hearing news of excessive rains and flooding in that area. And we were supposed to go in Thursday afternoon. So Tuesday, Wednesday, we got more reports. Some of the camps in the Kruger is flooded. So I started calling reservations to try and figure out, should we still go, should we not go, what should we do? But because we were on the road, there was such a high call volume, because obviously everybody that had reservations were trying to cancel and find out what's going on. So you would stay on the call for 25 minutes and then you're on the road and you lose reception and you get kicked off. So I get some reception, I try to call again. Didn't get through for 2 days. Eventually we end up saying, look, let's just go and see if we can get in. And from the town we were sleeping in Wednesday night. Was it Wednesday? Yes, Wednesday night. I'm getting my days confused now. Wednesday night. driving to Pianna, the roads was flooded, damaged severely, but we had the attitude of, we got a bucky, let's go. We get to the gate is closed completely. There is no power in Pianna town. The roads into it and going out of it is not really conducive for driving, and they are not allowing any people to go in. Then we decided, let's just drive home. So it was another 7 hours back home that afternoon. We got home just past 10, but on the drive we started getting more videos and more report. The camp we were going to sleep in that night, Letaba, was flooded to the rooftops. There was no way we would have had a place to sleep anyway. And the second camp we were going to sleep in, Satara, was still okay. And Skukuza was the last night we were going to spend. As far as I know, Skukuza camp is still okay. But Friday afternoon, we got reports of Satara also being flooded to the rooftops. It's not just a little bit of flooding, it is totally flooded. So yeah, I was disappointed. Now I'm just a little bit more worried for the sake of the Kruger, because it's a lot of damage. I can just imagine all the electrical appliances. You won't be able to use the linen again. The roads are written off. They had to evacuate some people with helicopters out of some of the camps because the flooding happened so fast they couldn't get everybody out in time. So yeah, I am very concerned for the Kruger. It's gonna take them a while to recover from this. So let's see how we can support them. And then I finally got through on Friday. It took me 1 hour and 28 seconds to do the call. From holding on the line, and then they tell you, you are now number 37. 20 minutes later, you are now number 35. But anyway, 1 hour and a few seconds, I was done. Luckily, they will put the money we paid on credit for us for future use. But like I said, I don't know when that's going to be. I really think it's going to take them a while to recover. So yeah, I don't have anything else to talk about. That's about it. And thank you very much if you are still here. I see we are now at 43 minutes. So thank you. And I will talk to you next time. Bye.